All right, time to explore UNATCO HQ.
Come on in. The retinal scanner can read blood vessel patterns right through your sunglasses.
Really? That's a powerful scanner.
I heard there was a lot of fighting topside.
Eh, not too much.
Remember that Mr. Manderley wants to see you. Level 2. His secretary, Janice Reed, has your login and password.
All right, Alex.
We finally got to cap some rebels, eh, Denton?
You did, I didn't.
Hell of a first day.
All in a day's work. Locked
Bet the NSF won't try that trick again.
and locked. We have lockpicks, but
Didn't know the NSF had so many people in New York.
we'll refrain from now. Unlocked.
You found your office. Did Janice give you your login? I guess not. Let's see. JCD, password, Bionic Man.
Yeah. I think this is better sitting arrangement. JCD Bionic Man. From Jaime Reyes. Greetings and nanotech briefings. Hey Samuel. Guess I'll have to get used to calling you JC around the office. Not sure where they came up with that, but at least they gave you the same last code name as your brother. Anyways, whatever they're calling you, it's good to see a familiar face on the roster. My first job has been to read up on your augmentations. I'm beginning to see why you found classes so easy. Every neuron in your head has been augmented. For example, the voice in your head from an operator, someone here at the HQ able to handle the scanning equipment in your skull and broadcast advice over your info link, leaps fully formed right into your temporal lobe, bypassing the eardrum and its sensory neurons, and it's perfectly inaudible to everyone around you. Of course. Not to mention that the nanites clinging to your axons can both receive and transmit symbolic information. So if you ever need help, don't sweat it, someone at HQ probably already knows. Come by and if you want to hear more. This is great stuff. Jaime. From Jaime Reyes to Gunther Herman, Anna Navarre, J.C. Denton, so all the kind of special agents. Nano augmentations and you. I was asked by the regional medical coordinator to forward this information to all of you. I do so without further comment. Dr. Reyes. Oh, excuse me. By now, you've heard about the upcoming transition to nano augmentation. It's coming, but not as soon as you think. UNATCO has only one nano augmented agent, with a second one just graduating from the academy. It will be years before the program leaves the laboratory. Your mechanical augmentations are not obsolete. Some agents express concern that they will be, quote, walking junk, unquote, in 10 years. One agent expressed their fears in an anonymous email saying, quote, will be sold at flea markets, old grey golems for scaring the children. So what about my legs? What about my life? Unquote. Keep some perspective. Prosthetics remain the only proven technology for enhancing human abilities. Those who make the sacrifice are appreciated, commended, and saluted as heroes. From Med Directorate to J.C. Denton, nano-augmentation stressors. Nano-augmented agents will often encounter stress created by resentment among fellow agents, particularly those who have been mechanically augmented. In an effort to secure freedom and liberty those under their protection, many UNATCO agents have chosen to sacrifice social acceptance for mission performance by surgically replacing limbs and organs with mechanically or electronically enhanced equivalents. Something you kind of get to explore in the third Deus Ex game. Being a mechanically augmented person. But your nano-augmentations point the way to the future. Thousands of microscopic, living, organic machines that exist in symbiosis with your body. Because such augmentations create only minimal disfigurement, they are likely to be a source of friction between you and other mechanically augmented agents. But it is important to understand that UNATCO is an organization where individuals must act in concert. Each is important to the whole, and mutual understanding essential to teams comprised of diverse human and augmented agents. If you have any further questions or wish to discuss these issues, please feel free to send email to Carver Shells to make an appointment. And welcome to UNATCO agent. Right, got some emails. Briefing room.
Your partner for the next assignment, Anna Navarra, is in the adjoining break room to the east. Maybe you should introduce yourself.
Oh. You know what? 3 boxes of various darts for the dart gun. And because we have the skill, it only takes 1 pick, so why not? Regular darts, tranq darts, and flare darts. Now, well, there should be familiar faces from our training level.
Are you sure you pressed the right button?
I do not make mistakes of that kind.
Your hand might have slipped.
No, I wanted orange. It gave me lemon lime.
The machine would not make a mistake.
It's the maintenance man. He knows I like orange.
So you think the staff has some kind of plot?
Yes, they do that on purpose.
My new partner, J.C. Denton. Don't tell me you're going to wear those sunglasses during a night operation.
My vision is augmented.
At least it is a way that we know when it's not Paul.
Forgive my interruption. I just wanted to say that I look forward to working with you, Agent Navarra. Also, excuse me, I've got to be briefed by Mr. Manderley.
I do not expect you to perform as well as Agent Herman, but the mission will require us to do more than frighten the NSF with our baggy coats that make us look bigger than we really are.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
He will not be the equivalent of his brother. I have seen that he knows the procedure of a good offensive.
Let us hope you are right.
I won't let you down, Agent.
Yeah, so in this game, your actions is often reflected by the way, or let's say, the way that the NPCs treat you, the way that they talk to you, often reflects the decisions that you have made during your game. And because we chose to release Herman from captivity, and we also gave him a gun when he requested it, right now he likes us quite a bit. And that's why he was also kind of defending us, if you will. When Anna Navarre was showing her kind of, let's say, skepticism and...
Forget how Agent Navarra is not friendly. She has every life to give for her partner.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not gonna sweat it. Public access. Right, I mean, this game has a lot of, let's say, like world building through text. So there's emails, there's newspaper articles, there's just like bulletin boards. so on and so on. Terrorism, crime or conscience? The question must be asked, is the global rise of terrorism a haphazard response to a decimated economy, or is there a pattern? Does UNATCO face coordinated ideological opposition? Some groups, Silhouette in France for instance, have declared a meme war or war of meanings in their terminology. They spread email and pamphlets that lampoon the UN's proposal for one world democracy, a tedious exercise in rudimentary propaganda. With sophistries and doublespeak, they portray freedom as obedience, democracy as tyranny, and UNATCO as the perpetrator of terrorism, an idea as shocking as it is reprehensible. Other organizations, such as the self-proclaimed Revolutionary National Secessionist Forces (NSF), in the US, claim allegiance to meme war, but are in fact no better than common criminals. They decide territory and wealth at the expense of society at large. Their civil war is merely a smokescreen for criminal activity. Any population can be quickly turned against such revolutionaries simply by educating them about the UN's policies and goals. Joseph Manderley, Director, UNATCO. Terrorism, threat profiling, symbolic attacks, the Statue of Liberty bombing, the desecration of the Soviet memorial in Berlin, the department store shooting sprees on Orchard Road in Singapore are the resource of the weak. They serve only to call attention to a group or cause that is of no more marginal interest to the public. But what distinguishes true terrorist activity is its gradual escalation towards genuine acts of war. Fringe groups now have access to technology that allows direct assaults on governments, including classic trio of nuclear, biological, or chemical weaponry (NBC). But aside from direct assaults on a nation and its people, indirect attacks can cause considerable collateral damage. Rogue software can disrupt financial markets, communications, and military operations, while encryption programs allow terrorists to coordinate smuggling operations in secret right over the net. Drugs, guns, illegal immigrants, and even heavy equipment such as armored vehicles and cruise missiles are routinely traded across borders, aided and abetted by such software. UNATCO, the first organization with the technology, manpower, and authority to cope with such threats, is an idea that is long overdue. Joseph Manderley, Director, UNATCO. Know Your Enemy, NSF. The National Secessionist Forces, NSF, remain a very real and increasingly widespread terrorist threat. 10 years ago, in response to the Sporting Weapons Act of 2042, splinter groups from nearly every state militia refused to surrender their rifles, grenades, landmines, and other collectibles prohibited by the Act. Unified under the charismatic leadership of Leon Woods, these isolated fanatics eventually formed the NSF, with Woods assuming the rank of general. The intended goal? The liberation of Washington, Montana, Oregon, and Northern California. While Woods died during the infamous Last Stand of 2045, his war machine continues what can only be termed an occupation of the United States, aided by an encrypted network designed by dissident computer scientists from San Francisco and Seattle. Currently, the UNATCO Cryptography Division has had minimal success in cracking their communications, requiring more direct intelligence gathering techniques to be utilized. The UN, has declared war on the NSF. Know your enemy, Silhouette. Famous for inserting 20th century style commercials into the net broadcast of the World Cup of 2050, Silhouette favors feats of spectacle over violence. Printed circuits, part of the nutritious breakfast, the announcer told children in one of the World Cup commercials. You ain't mech until you eat mech. A mech boy chews a memory chip. Boys who eat organics get stomped by their post-human classmates. Mech boys in UNATCO helmets and metal boots take turns kicking another boy. Despite their numerous pranks, these intellectuals, artists, and labor organizers pose a serious threat. They are well armed and have been linked to the murders of numerous European politicians and journalists. They will not hesitate to use lethal force. Triads. UNATCO surveillance of Hong Kong is currently high priority given the renewed threat of Chinese organized crime in the form of the Triads. Despite being a model of prosperity and technological leadership for decades, Hong Kong persists as a haven for organized crime. The Triads, namely the Luminous Path and the Red Arrow, view for control of the 10 trillion credit shipping business, much of which supplies Greater Asia with pirated technology, illegal drugs, and weapons. Most disturbing of all, the Triads preach an ethic of techno-piracy that has found enthusiastic support among small shopkeepers and businessmen who often aid the gangsters and buy their bootlegged software. Gullible and greedy, this army of middlemen remain insensitive to how their violations of intellectual property and copyright laws damage the global information economy. Other threats. UNATCO operatives have identified over 1,250 terrorist organizations active in the world today, some too small to currently present a serious threat, but all eager to see one or more governments topple. Groups such as the Templars in Europe, the X-51, Western US, will be dealt with in subsequent volumes of Know Your Enemy. Right. Oh, yeah, newspapers, Midnight Sun, Meat from Mars. Ah, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna read all of this stuff. It's, it is of course interesting world building, but at the same time, maybe if I just sit around and read everything, it's not gonna be interesting in terms of gameplay. UNATCO and the world. Yeah, as much as I would love to read all of this, I think it's just gonna make this playthrough. It's gonna make it a little too slow paced. Now, I'm not gonna skip like dialogue. Of course, I'm gonna talk to everyone, but and generally speaking, like emails or maybe these like text from these like bulletin boards, I'll read them also. But things like books and like newspaper articles, I think I'm gonna leave those alone. Just because it's a little too much. Well, yeah, I guess let's go meet the boss.
Good work out there, Mr. Denton. Mr. Manderley said you handled yourself nicely. Welcome to UNATCO HQ. Our little family keeps getting bigger.
Is Mr. Manderley available?
Yes, go right in. By the way, your computer account is ready. Log in JCD, password Bionic Man.
Alex already told me. Thanks.
Yeah, I really like the way that how kind of in the dialogue it reflects it reflects the like just things that you've done and things that already happened, and it kind of like because on one hand you have a like you have kind of this almost you have this full freedom to kind of decide what to do and in which order, and even like to whom you talk to and in which order. And I really like the way that like even your decisions regarding like maybe just the order of who you talk to, it can influence the dialogue you have with other NPCs. Like because we already have the information from Alex about you know logging and password, that JC like specifically mentions that to Janice over here. Yeah, Alex already told me. Thanks. Even just a little small details like that, even just like a one line, like a one extra line to your dialogue that it adds. It's just I like that.
Hey, I'm trying to work.
Mr. Manderley, just for your information, your password is Knight_Killer. I know you led that mission in Paris against the old terrorist organization, or whatever it was. Your login is still J. Manderley. Janet's smiley face. Or like a winking smiley face, I guess. Hi, boss.
Reporting for duty, sir.
The man himself. Splendid. Do accept my apologies about the situation topside?
A refreshing change from the academy, sir.
Don't despise training, my boy. Even you would be worthless without the shaping touch of drills and studies.
So the NSF took a shipment of the ambrosia vaccine? Give me a chopper and a pilot and I'll handle it.
I'm sure you could. Yes, indeed. But we're having your brother head up the recovery team. You'll work with Agent Anna Navarra. Why don't we meet when you've seen Jaime for a medical checkup and received your equipment from Sam Carter? You'll be briefed at that time.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, we got a little key from this table. That key opens these like cleaning closets. Now this little panel, yeah, it's locked, and behind it there should be a multi-tool and a bioelectric cell. But obviously, you're gonna need at least one lockpick to open it. Or if you're untrained in lockpicking, you would need two lockpicks. Now, I don't feel like making that trade-off, because multi-tools, you tend to get maybe a little more to multi-tools than lockpicks, and lockpicks tend to be a little bit more useful than multi-tools, so that's why I don't want to waste my lockpick right now. And I think in this playthrough, I'm not gonna be improving my computer skill at all, because I want to remain like unskilled in hacking basically, so that I will be forced to find key codes, passwords, or alternatively using my lockpicks and multi-tools. There's a pepper cartridge over there, yeah. Yeah, we have we have lots of weapon mods as well. Level 3. Men's room, women's room. We could go to the women's room and there would be consequences. Again, like tiny little things. But maybe this JC is not gonna.
That was a close one up there.
You know what? For the purposes of showcasing what happens.
How unprofessional.
Oh, hello. Hello, Shannon.
Expecting a show?
That depends. Are you gonna give one? No? Okay. we're gonna be hearing about that later. Trust me. Yeah. Okay. We'll go through here. Yeah. There's darts.
Get your checkup on level 3, and let's get going.
Biozone. The man, the myth, the legend. General Samuel Carter.
At ease, Agent Denton.
General Carter, I read about the Merced operation in school. This is a great honor.
I'm not a general anymore. Just call me Carter.
I can't believe what the NSF did to your family.
Enough of that, soldier. We each have our troubles. I lost my children, but you've had to grow up without your parents. Which requires more courage? I don't think it matters.
My parents died in a car accident. That's different.
I said that's enough. You have your own op and time is short. How about I issue you a stealth pistol?
That sounds fine. Thank you, sir.
What else do you think you'll need?
A smart lockpick is always handy.
That's right. Infiltrate and evade. Engage only on your own terms. Now move out. Manderley's waiting.
Hey, what about that guy out front selling munitions? Is that allowed?
Oh, Kaplan, right. We've got some screwballs around here, but he's not the problem. It's whoever's been breaking into the armory.
Someone at UNATCO's a thief?
Yes, sir. And a damn good one.
Right. Oh, and we totally didn't buy anything from Kaplan.
I don't like getting shot at. Not one bit.
Computer ops.
You're getting warm.
Alex Jacobson.
You're red hot. Looks like you found me.
Change G. Herman password to Zeitgeist. Next week, I guess it'll be Schlachenfreude. Strange guy. For those who don't know, Schlachenfreude, it means like it's a German term that it refers to basically like a enjoyment of like enjoyment of seeing like, you know, like let's say other people suffering basically, or like, you know, like if someone falls down and you laugh, you know, that's like Schlachenfreude.
Like leading a mouse to cheese.
This thing is starting to give me a headache.
Don't worry, we shut it down when you go off duty.
I guess I'll get used to it.
I'm Alex Jacobson, communications engineer.
I suppose you already know who I am.
Getting there. You're certainly quicker on the uptake than your brother Paul ever was.
Thanks.
Right. Well, looks like there's a computer over here. Well, his name is Alex Jacobson. Usernames tend to be of the form the first letter of your, you know, first name combined with your last name. Like we are JC Denton, or well, we're JCD, but like G Herman, G J Manderley, and so forth. So his username is probably A Jacobson. Makes sense, right? Speculative fiction. Resource Trade Show, April 25th through April 28th. The Page Convention Center. The Page Convention Center. Guest speaker, Calavo. Okay. So, guess Alex Jacobson. I guess he's a fan of Calvo. I wonder. A. Jacobson. Calvo. Well, what do you know? It worked. from Warlord. Subject Whoop-ass. To Alex Jacobson. Hey man, get your occipital jack. Hey man, get your occipital jack fixed yet? You've got to check out Strike 4 demo. Whole motor control, total visual occlusion, man. Fireballs burn your face, walls hurt when you hit them, tactile textures everywhere, volumetric humidity. What are you waiting for? Don't give me that national security crap. Jack in so I can whoop your ass. Cracks. Okay, from a friend. Nerds. I managed to stop the guys. Actually, it was some French chick the CIA's been watching, perhaps a silhouette spy, trying to break into the net. But I took the liberty of changing some passwords just in case. Here are the new ones. A. Navar, Scribes PC, G. Herman Zeitgeist, J. Manderley, Nightkiller, J. Reed, Red Shoes, J. Reyes, Amigo, S. Carter, Antique, me, Calvo. You should probably delete this as soon as you've done reading, okay? Yeah. And subject Locker Code 2001. Probably a reference to Space Odyssey 2001, a famous movie. Right. Well, let's see. 2001. Let's say UNATCO Locker. Oh. And let's see. A. Navar. Scrus BC. Well, we have Manderleys and Hermans, but then there was like J. Reed, Red Shoes, J. Reyes, Amigo, S. Carter, Antique. Obviously, if there's the Calvo, we remember that. Well, we know our own. What else? Well, those are the ones at least. So, 2001. That's the code to this locker over here. BioCell. And there's one more secret in this room. Again, one of those things. I'm sure some players do know about this, but not everyone. You go to here somewhere. Oh, like here. Unlocked. Open that. It's a little secret hatch. And there's a little compartment under the floor here. Scope modification. Key to the offices. Remember, in the upper levels there was at least a couple of offices that were locked. And all the sniper rounds. Cigarettes. And in fact, there's not just one but two hatches to this. Yeah. Oh, and the medical clinic. And there's also the key to this medical locker over here. Which, of course, if you know it's there, it's easy to get. And if you pay attention, it's not too difficult to notice. But if you just kind of run here and run away, you might miss it. So it's there. Hi, Jaime.
Hey, JC.
You look like the real thing. They actually let you operate on people?
Just fixed Gunther's knee, in fact. A sticky actuator. So far, I feel more like a mechanic than a doctor.
I'm impressed.
They actually let you point a gun at people.
We'll have to catch up later. I've got to leave for New York right away. Could you send Manderley whatever it is he wants?
No problem. Listen, JC, about your augmentations. You know they're preparing to roll out the technology worldwide, right?
As long as I don't turn green and grow a pair of antennas, as I understand it.
Yeah, well, the design's pretty modular, which means you'll soon have access to upgrades from standard augmentation canisters.
I think I picked one of those up at the top of the statue.
Maybe you did. My order from VersaLife was on the ship the NSF captured. You'll need to take it to one of the medbas for installation.
I'll do that.
The canisters contain a colloid of ROM modules. Some are generic upgrades, others require you to make permanent choices about how to configure one of your subsystems.
It's about time they implemented some of this stuff.
Report to Manderley. He told me to send you back to him on the double.
One more thing before I go, since you've been briefed on my augmentations. What can you tell me about the infolink?
Let's see. Micro-receiver exostructure in the sulci, mechanocarbon threads on the axons. For queuing, packet routing. Anything particularly interest you?
Is there a way to turn it off?
The infolink?
Yeah, or is someone at UNATCO tuned in 24 hours?
These might sound a little funny, JC, but I'm not permitted to answer that question.
Your clearance is higher than mine?
Regarding your systems, I am your physician.
No big deal. I was just curious.
I wouldn't keep Manderley waiting if I were you. His office is on level 2.
Right.
Years of training and you're still all thumbs.
That I am. So, J. Reyes, amigo. Now these logins and passwords, these are case insensitive. To use the programming lingo. So, case insensitive, which means that, it doesn't matter whether you use, caps or no. Whether you write in caps or no, it doesn't matter. Wait, J? Did I misspell that? J Ray. Oh, maybe. Okay, I probably misspelled that. J Reyes. Amigo. Okay, good. From Gunther Hermann. Bad knee. Dr. Reyes, welcome. UNATCO is having a need of a good surgeon. Which led me to add, I have big pain in my knee. Sticking actuator? I can't fix it, no matter how much lubricant. Please inform when an appointment can be made available. Gunther Hermann. Now, of course, Gunther seems to make a lot of spelling mistakes on his writing, which could either be because he's not a native English speaker, but I have another theory. Gunther is a large man. He's got a large fingers. He's probably not a very, he probably has such massive fingers that I would imagine that, using a keyboard is probably not very easy for him. So, I don't know, maybe that's, or maybe it's, a little bit of both. Well, Med Director to Jaime Reyes, Nano-Augmentation Principle, 2C Briefing. As a medical specialist, you will be required to repair and modify the systems of our nano-augmented agents. This briefing is intended merely as an introduction to the technology. The cells of every major tissue in the body of nano-augmented agent are host to nanite-capsid hybrids. But you know what? This message is just like scientific jargon, yada yada yada.
You better head out.
Yeah, okay. I mean, let's say we'll read interesting stuff and things that are maybe relevant to the plot. But this kind of world building and probably semi-scientific jargon, like pseudo-scientific jargon, we'll leave that alone. Otherwise, we'll spend way too much time just reading stuff. What to grab was G4 Nightingale medical bot. Okay, yeah, just nano augmentation guidelines. Nano augmentations. Well, this is kind of relevant to us, so we'll read this. Nano augmentations, once installed, irrevocably. Excuse me if I sometimes have maybe difficulties in pronouncing words. English is not my first language. Irrevocably alter the physiological system they affect, and in many cases cause all subsequent augmentations to be rejected. However, the exact number of augmentations each system can support varies. The various interdependencies between these systems can be seen in the following table. In the following table, the details can be seen in the following table. There must be something wrong with that sentence. The various interdependencies between these systems can be seen in the following table. The details possible. Oh, you know what? Okay. Okay, it should be like can be seen in the following table. Which details? Maybe which details? Or I don't know. I think that sentence is somehow broken. There's probably something missing there, because if you just read following table, no, just I don't know. It breaks my brain. Anyway, it kind of lists the augmentations that we can have. Just like we go to our augmentations menu, all these empty slots, like these are, we can basically have in each of these slots can contain one augmentation, one particular type of augmentation. And you can see that, first of course, different body parts have different amount of these available slots. And so this lists all the possible augmentations that we can have. Because we can, throughout the game, we can find these augmentation canisters. Each canister will contain basically two optional augmentations. And generally speaking, like whenever you install an augmentation, you have to choose between you have to choose one of the two. And for instance, like this augmentation goes to the arms over here, and it has microfiber muscle or combat strength. So microfiber muscle, this basically helps you it increases the weight that you can lift, so it will allow you to carry your heavier objects, when you're using this augmentation. And combat strength, it just directly increases your damage that you do with melee weapons. Both can be okay. And so the arms, you can get those two that I just mentioned. For legs, it's either speed or silent running. Speed will also allow you to jump higher, and it reduces damage when you fall down. And naturally, you can run faster, or you can run silent, which is useful when you do stealthy stuff. The subdermal, you have two slots, so I have a canister that has either EMP shield or ballistic protection. And you can have another type of canister that has cloak or radar transparency. So cloaking basically makes you invisible to organic creatures and people, animals, and radar transparency makes you invisible to machines, robots, turrets, stuff like that. Then there's aqualung, which allows you to breathe underwater, and it prolongs the time you can spend underwater. Environmental resistance, which basically it's resistance to things like poisons, radiation, stuff like that. Regeneration, so that's healing, or energy resistance, which is it helps to protect against like flamethrowers, plasma weapons, plasma attacks, electricity, stuff like that. And there's synthetic heart, which increases the potency of all the other augmentations when you use it. Power recirculator, which reduces the power drain of all of other augmentations when you use it. Aggressive defense system, that's something which basically it will allow you to like prematurely detonate like rockets and grenades, when they're being used against you, so that and that will basically help to like reduce the damage that you take from them. And spy drone, which is, well, it's a spy drone. You can obviously use it to, it's like a little drone that you can control. It flies, you can move it, you can fly it where you want. Obviously it gives you camera feedback, so you can kind of check out places, and it also has an EMP attack, so which can obviously, like damage like robots and stuff like that. And there's targeting system, which not only, of course, it increases your accuracy with weapon, with like guns and stuff like that, but it also gives targeting information, so you can see like that the health and other kinds of statistics of your opponents. Or vision enhancements, which can allow you to see in darkness, and let's say the higher levels of that augmentation allow you to even like see through walls, which can also be handy. Right, so that's kind of the brief overview of the augmentations and the options you have. So, time to make a first choice. Now, in my first playthrough, I was very kind of melee orientated. I used a lot of melee. And in my first playthrough, I chose the combat strength. So, in this playthrough, I'm going to do something a little different. I'll try to make let's say little different decisions, and obviously have a different kind of build and different kind of approach than my first playthrough. So in this playthrough, we'll take the microfiber muscle. So something that allows us to carry heavier objects and manipulate the environment better, basically. So yeah, we'll install that. Okay, yeah, we didn't take any damage. Okay, so we have perfect health. We have talked to everyone, took all the stuff, I showed all the secrets. So time to meet with the boss one more time. Yeah. Hi, Janice.
They're waiting for you, Agent. Go on in.
Right. Hi, Paul. Hi, boss.
That will be JC's job.
What's that? Power station. The NSF have Ambrosia in a warehouse protected by cameras and booby traps. We want to power down the whole system.
We're taking one illicit generating plant, protected by weak groups of NSF. Knock out that plant, and Paul's team can walk right into the warehouse.
Just tell me where it is. The NSF are openly resisting our deployed forces, gradually falling back. You'll have to deal with them first.
And you be ready, Paul. When the power drops, go in and go in hard.
I'll use my discretion.
Go in like the U.S. Marshals. we lose the vaccine, I'm sending your butt to the mayor to explain why he and his 3 daughters won't get their pills this month.
Yes, sir. Let's not waste any time, JC. Get down to the dock. A boat is waiting to take you and your partner, Anna Navarro, to shore.
Yes, get moving. Here's your op bonus for the great job you did in the statue, plus 250 for rescuing Agent Herman. That's 1,250. We take care of our people around here.
Thank you, sir.
By the way, Denton, stay out of the ladies' restroom. That kind of activity embarrasses the agency more than it does you.
Yeah. A little details like that. So yeah, because we went to the ladies' room, even though we're obviously not supposed to, it's against the company policy, yeah, we got reprimanded by our boss. And a little key that we found in Alex's office, it opens these doors. So lockpick, multi-tool, and now, even if we didn't know about the Alex's office thing, one thing you can at least do is, if you first come to this office, you pick this lock, and then you come, because underneath this table, this key is also a key to these offices. So for the very least, like if you lockpick that and you get this, then you don't have to pick the lock on the other office. Yeah. Well, we'll leave that there because we already have the keyboard.
We'll finish the job when we get to Manhattan.
Yeah, we'll do. Right.
Wish I was going with you.
Are you sure? I think you enjoy your comfortable chair. I don't think you really want to come. You want to sit there, play with your, games.
Good luck out there. Man, 2 Dentons in the field. The NSF won't know what hit them.
I don't understand. What are you doing?
I think his username was Ella Lloyd, but I can't remember his password.
It's my first day too. I'm pretty excited.
I can't remember. Oh well. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I could check maybe take my phone and check from the wiki or something, but meh, let's not be cheesy and like steal passwords from the internet. Right. All right.
Let's head out.
Now, soon we're gonna have to prepare to, save the game quickly. Right. Because of that. Okay, so, yeah, before Anna Navarre comes and talks to us, we'll actually pause the game and anyway, so I would say this is enough for now. When we come back, I mean, yes, this episode was very, let's say, uneventful. We're just exploring the UNATCO HQ and talking to people, and I was showing little secrets, little hidey holes. But anyway, and so rather uneventful episode. But next episode, well, there's got to be a whole lot more excitement and action, because now we are actually on our first proper mission for UNATCO. Anyway, so thank you for watching. See you next time, and goodbye.